Okay, so we'll make a start. Good evening, everybody. My name is Chris Smith. I'm downline from Sue Marshall, Georgie Goodyear, Sue Marshall, and in John Hawke's team. And tonight's training is all about building your customer base. So it's one of I do 8 different webinars. Last week we talked about your first 4 weeks, as you can see here, and today we're talking about building the customer base. And next week, which I think is going to be the last one before Christmas, is getting started on team building. But tonight we're going to talk about one of the beauties of Kleeneze, I think, which is building up your relationship with your customers. So a quick question, I heard earlier from Helen. Can people just give me a rough idea of how many customers they have at the moment? Okay, so a few people who have just been starting. John, 40. Glyn, 800. Fantastic. Well done, Glyn. Sue, 300 there. And obviously one of the beauties of this is you can kind of build your customer base as big as you want it to. And there are no rules about you have to stop when you get to 400 or anything like that. John, you've got 10 customers. I bet that's all family, isn't it? Friends and family. There you go, see? You don't have to have a huge customer base to do well in Kleeneze. So, let's just explain a little bit about how you build your customer base up. And obviously people like Glyn will be very familiar with all of this, but for the newer ones, and if you're sort of starting to build your team, then hopefully this will be helpful for explaining to them as well. So we all start off exactly the same in Kleeneze. Month 1, we have 0 customers. Maybe 1 if your mum says she'll order from you, something like that. But if you start off following a reasonable system, you deliver 200 catalogues a week to your houses, then maybe you'll get 20 or so orders from those customers. So by the end of month 2, if you've done that over 4 weeks, 200 catalogues to 200 new houses, you'll have around about 80 customers. And then you go back delivering to those existing houses again. So you're going back over, just showing your customers that you're reliable, delivering to them regularly and so on. So each week then, with your 200 catalogues, you're delivering 20 to the customers that you've already found, and 180 to other people who are not yet your customers. And maybe what you then find is maybe 10 of those other ones order from you as well. And these are just very approximate numbers, but just to give you an idea of kind of how it works. So by month 3, you've then got 120 customers, and each week you're delivering again. You've maybe got 30 customers on each round now, and 170 to people who are not yet customers. Maybe you get another 10, and so on. Month 4, you've got 160 customers. So you can kind of see how it's going, and obviously as you start to reduce the people that say they don't want catalogues and so on, you can expand into other areas. And 200 catalogues a week is a very sort of a manageable number. Some people will build it up much quicker, and they might be delivering their 200 twice a week. So, when you're starting to deliver at the beginning, anyone that tells you that they don't want a catalogue, and this can be for all reasons, not everybody's going to order from you, so you cross those people off so that you don't keep delivering to them and just annoying them. And after you've been delivering to each house, after about 6 deliveries, you then have to make decisions about whether you're going to continue delivering to those people who haven't yet ordered from you. And you can make that decision on all sorts of different things. If it's next door to a good customer who, and the person that you're delivering to has looked at it a few times, then I would suggest you carry on delivering, because word of mouth from their neighbour might get you another customer there. But then, depending on how much you want to earn, you carry on doing this. At the end of however many months it might take you, you could have 800 customers. As we saw from Glyn, he was seeing there, he's got 800 customers. So the difference here is you're still delivering your 200 catalogues a week but now you're delivering 200 to 200 customers. And the average order per catalogue will go from around about £1 in your first couple of months when you're first starting off, up to £5 and more, depending on how ruthless you are with your customers, as it were. So suddenly, your income, well, actually it's not sudden, it happens gradually, but you can see that your income from your customer base will go up significantly because you're delivering the same number of catalogues, but you're getting a much better return for each catalogue that you deliver. And this is basically your customer base. And the beauty of this, apart from the bigger income, is that you just have fewer bad pickups. When you're first going out, you will have days when you don't get hardly any orders, you'll have days when you get good orders, and it's a bit up and down. When you've got a customer base, you have fewer bad pickups, and it's a lot more stable. So, why do customers order from you? A quick question I wanted to ask people. I don't know if some of you obviously have been in the business for a while now, but for those of you especially that have joined in the last year or two, can I just ask you if you'd heard of Kleeneze before you joined? Good, okay, so Helen, you had. John? Oh yeah, right. Excellent. So you've obviously known all about it, yeah. Yep. Good, excellent. I mean, that kind of proves the point that I'm trying to make here. Actually, that Kleeneze is such a well-known brand that initially people will buy from a complete stranger who they've never met simply because they look at the catalogue. It's a known and trusted brand. It's been around for 90 years. So you will get orders from people just simply because of the name Kleeneze. So initially, they're buying from the catalogue. But what then happens is as you go round to them, you get to meet them when you deliver their orders, they get to know you, and they get to like you, and you're reliable. That's important. You need to make sure you're reliable. Don't sort of flip it about going there once every 2 or 3 months. You need to go around every 4 weeks. And you're polite, you're friendly, you're helpful. If they need something, a number of times, I just drop a letter in a post box for a customer. So just little things like that. They get to know you and like you. And then what happens is there's a change in behaviour because the customers, they're not then buying from Kleeneze, they're buying from you. And that's really, really important because that buying from you builds that loyalty and that customer base so that customers will stay loyal to you and order from you over and over again. So that's what we want to achieve. We want customers to be buying from you. And how can we reinforce this? Well, I call it customer bonding, but hopefully it's kind of, you'll understand the same thing. And this is really, really important because one of the things that I kind of said at the beginning was that at the beginning they're just ordering from Kleeneze, and if they're only ordering from Kleeneze, they'll order from any distributor. So to get them to order from you in particular, you need to bond with your customers. Quick question. I don't know if it's not a trick question. What is everyone's favourite word? Any suggestions? Any ideas? What's your favourite word? I'm not allowed to say chocolate. Me. Their name. Good suggestion, John. Anyone else got any thoughts? Free? Yep, good thought. Okay, actually, this is just a bit of background research. Thank you, that's a good one. Please, yep, very good. Oh, some very good ones there. Okay, actually, everyone's favourite word is their name. If you think about it, people love to hear sort of people saying, "Oh, hi Chris, how are you?" It kind of makes you feel recognised and wanted. So, when you first find a customer's name, and usually it's just whatever they've written on the very first order form they get from you, make sure you write it down so that you know it. And if they tell you their first name, some people will put on the order form Mrs. Johnson, but some people will put Susan Johnson, for example. So if they've written down their first name, they're obviously telling you it's okay for them to call you that. Excuse me. So, write their name down on your notes. So this could be in your round book. As you're going round, you've put in your X if they've looked at the catalogue and so on, and you put an O beside it or whatever if you're getting an order. Write their name beside it. And then the following month, when you're delivering the catalogue back to them, make sure you have a quick look as you're walking down the street doing your drops, that you check the names of the customers that are coming up. If you then happen to see them as you're delivering the catalogue to them, just check the note and you say, oh, hi Joan, hi Sue, whatever their name was. How are you today? Just pop the Kleeneze catalogue through or into their hand or whatever. And this works really, really well. I've had a couple of occasions where, because the first time you go around, obviously the customer might not remember you from when you delivered the order to them. And I had a lady say to me, oh, sorry, I already get a catalogue from somebody else. And I said, oh, I can't remember the lady's name now. Hi, Joan. Yeah, it's me. I delivered it to you last week. And she said, oh, yeah, Chris, I'm really sorry. I didn't recognise you there. And so I could easily, if I hadn't been kind of working out what was going on there, I could easily have just sort of thought, oh, I must have sort of, obviously delivered to somebody else's customer and not bothered delivering. And it was simply because I knew their name and they then thought, oh, gosh, it is that chap who delivered me last time. Then, I held on to that customer. So just make sure that you check their names as you kind of delivering the catalogues to them next time. And the other thing that you'll find, and I guess it kind of depends on exactly where you live, but certainly in Ringwood, a kind of smallish market town where myself and Sue Marshall deliver catalogues, I see people all the time, around the town, in shops, sort of getting on and off buses and things. And I see people, and I always sort of say, oh, hi, Mr. Johnson, how are you? And sometimes you can see them thinking, I know him from somewhere, but I'm not sure what. And so as much as I can, I'll wear my Kleeneze fleece or a Kleeneze t-shirt, and that just kind of helps them. Oh yes, it's Chris from Kleeneze. So again, just kind of getting to know them, building up that rapport with them. The other thing that's really important is you love dogs. Whether you do or you don't, I'm telling you, you love dogs. Because if you go to your customer and they've got dogs, obviously they love dogs. So whenever I go round, I always sort of say, oh, what's the dog's name? He's so lovely. And they always come and sort of sniff around your knees and give them a tickle around the ear or whatever. And again, I write that down. I write down the name of the dog. So I know the names of 27 different dogs around Ringwood probably. Just because then next time I go round, I can say, oh, hi Maxie, how are you? And again, you're kind of just showing to your customer that you really appreciate and you're kind of caring about them and the things that they care about. Again, if one day you might be delivering an order and they say, oh, Craig, I'm sorry, I need to nip me to the hospital to see my little Billy or whatever. And so you kind of just try and remember the fact that you've obviously got son, daughter, husband or whatever who's a bit ill. And then next time you can just say, oh, how is he? Last time I was round, we were popping into the hospital to see him. So just little things like that, just showing your customers that you care about them. So, by doing all of that, that bonding results in customers that know you, so they know you fairly quickly, and then they get to like you, and then they get to trust you. And that just makes a huge difference in the size of the orders that you get. I think I've lost count of the number of examples of people that will order, a couple of kettle descalers or something $2.99 or whatever the first time around, and then the kind of orders get a bit bigger, and then sort of within a year or so you're getting £20 or £30 orders from them every month. And it's just because that they get to know you. And I've had customers say, oh, I wasn't quite sure what to order for you this week, Chris, but I found a few things that I wanted. And you kind of get the feeling that they're not ordering because they desperately need something. They're ordering because actually they like you and they trust you and they're helping you as well. So you're both helping each other there. So that whole thing about getting to know your customers, finding things out about them, just as you pop round and just every time, how are you? How are things? How is Jimmy? How's the little dog? Whatever it might be. If you can get them talking a little bit about the things that they like, then showing an interest in them, and they'll appreciate that. And as I've said there, that results in lots of regular orders from your customer base. Okay, that was a fairly quick one tonight. So, any questions on any of that? Oh, I feel to have sprinted through all of that. Good. Right, I'm just going to stop the recording for a moment.